Everybody thinks that the Bears just had a mid-draft, but I think they quietly crushed it. Let's talk about it. Let's start with round 1, where everyone was on the same page and agrees that it was an absolute slam dunk of a pick. At pick 25, the Bears select Dillon Thieneman, safety from Oregon. A lot of people had graded him as the second best safety in the draft, and somehow he just falls right into the Bears' lap at pick 25. This dude is an athletic freak. He ran a 4.35 40, had a 41-inch vert, and had a 10.5 broad jump. And the best thing about him is he can do it all in the secondary. He can line up as box safety, he can be a free safety, and he can even line up in the slot and cover tight ends or even slot receivers. This guy is gonna be an amazing player on this defense and is a perfect scheme fit for Dennis Allen's defense, as he loves to blitz, disguise coverages, and confuse the quarterback as much as he can. With Dillon Thieneman and Kobe Bryant now as their safeties, Dennis Allen has the ability to do that. His one weakness of note is he isn't the greatest in man coverage, and this can be a problem in a Dennis Allen defense who loves to run man. But with Al Harris as his positional coach, I'm pretty confident on his development in that department, and I feel like he's going to be a Bear for a really long time. Now let's talk about day 2, where Bears fans started to lose their mind. Instead of going D-line, at pick 57, Ryan Poles selects Logan Jones, center from Iowa. Jones was seen as the most pro-ready center. He's going to be 25 years old, which is old for a rookie, but I feel like with NIL deals and players staying longer in college, that's going to become more of the norm. Luckily for Jones, he doesn't have to be an immediate day 1 starter. We do have Bradbury, the center from the Patriots, who just played in the Super Bowl last year, and Jones comes in with the ideal situation where he gets to learn under a Super Bowl level center. My favorite part about this pick is he is a perfect fit for Ben Johnson's zone scheme, and ideally he's the center of the future for the next 7 to 10 years. Then chaos. With pick 69, the Chicago Bears select Sam Roush, tight end from Stanford. Now everyone was freaking out about this pick, wondering why the Bears are taking a tight end 3 instead of helping out the D-line with more pass rushers. But here's the thing, the NFL is shifting towards more 12 and 13 personnels, that's 1 running back and 2 tight ends, or 1 running back and 3 tight ends. And Ben Johnson ran 13 personnel, 5th most in the league last year. Offensive coaches are realizing the advantages that these types of personnel bring to your offense, with tight ends who are essentially extra linemen but can actually go out on routes and catch the ball. This puts the defense in a real bind. They have to make a decision where they go bigger and are better against the run but suffer in pass coverage, or they go smaller where they're better covering the pass but can get run over. Sam's coming in to replace Derwin Smythe, who as a tight end 3 was on 25% of the offensive snaps last year. Sam's also more of a traditional inline tight end, meaning he's going to be used more as a blocking tight end and not as much as a pass catcher. He can catch the ball, but he does struggle with drops occasionally. So don't worry, Cole Kmet fans, he's not going to go anywhere, and Colston Loveland is still going to be our star tight end. Sam is also another freak athlete. His relative athletic score, RAS, was top 10th overall of all tight ends. That is insane. Ryan Poles definitely has a type, and that's athletic freaks. I understand why people are confused and upset about this pick, saying that this is a reach, that we don't need a tight end 3, but I completely disagree. Ben Johnson wanted this tight end. He's super athletic. He's going to add more to this offense. And truthfully, the defensive players that were available at pick 69 just weren't good value. Now, if the tight end pick wasn't confusing enough, Poles doubles down and goes offense again, getting Xavier Thomas, wide receiver from LSU. Now, this pick is what sent everyone into an absolute frenzy. People are talking about how Thomas was graded as an undrafted free agent or 6th round talent, and see this pick as an absolute reach. Now, I can't argue against what he was graded by these other scouts. What I can argue against is how Thomas is going to be such a good fit for this offense. Thomas is super quick and explosive, and the best thing about him is you can line him up anywhere on the field. He can play slot, he can play outside receiver, and he can play in the backfield. I know Ben Johnson is salivating at the ideas of the potential mismatches he can get with the alignment and ability that Thomas has. I mean, just think about it. You have Roman Dunze, you have Luther Burden, you have Cole Kmet, guys that are getting all the eyes, and you have Thomas in the backfield one-on-one with the linebacker. Dude, good luck. He is going to absolutely torch any linebacker trying to cover him up. And so that's going to force the defensive hand. And then Ben Johnson, the genius that he is, he's going to take full advantage of that. The potential of what Ben Johnson can do with Thomas is so exciting, and I hope you guys can start seeing that too. And to add on to the fact, he's also an electric returner. He's going to be getting punts and kick returns, maybe not this year because we have Khalif Raymond, but Raymond's only going to be with us 1 year, maybe 2. Thomas is going to definitely take that role and position that Raymond is currently holding. Now on to day 3, and this is where Ryan Poles quietly cooked. So Poles traded pick 129 and 144 to the Panthers for pick 124 and 166. And with pick 124, he selected Malik Muhammad, corner from Texas. Malik was second team all SEC. He ran a 4.42 40, and he has great coverage skills. He's very quick. He gets in and out of his breaks easily and mirrors receivers really well. He is on the slender side, so he can get out muscled by bigger receivers and or tight ends, but despite this, he isn't afraid to make tackles and bring guys to the ground. He'll be a good depth corner. Who knows, maybe they bump him inside and make him a slot corner so he's right behind Kyler Gordon. He also will be a contributor on special teams, and after a couple years, who knows, maybe he develops into a starting corner. And then with the 166 pick, Poles selects Keyshawn Elliott, linebacker from ASU. Now Elliott is a thumper. He had 89 tackles, 14 TFLs, and 7 sacks in 2025. Scouts have noted his exceptional work ethic and football character as a huge positive of this guy, and that's exactly what you're trying to find on day 3. He's great against the run, he's average speed, and he does get taken advantage of in pass coverage, so I definitely foresee him becoming a Sam linebacker in the future. I don't think he's going to be a starter, but he's definitely going to help out on the special teams and just adds depth to our defense. And Ryan Poles does it again by drafting the position everyone's been screaming for all draft by trading his 2 7th round picks to move up to 216th in the 6th round and selects Jordan Van Den Berg, D tackle from Georgia Tech. Just like last year, how everyone was screaming for a running back and Ryan Poles doesn't select one until the 7th round, who ends up becoming Kyle freaking Manangai. Poles finally gets a D tackle late in the 6th round in Jordan. And Jordan is a Dennis Allen nose tackle through and through. He's quick, he's violent, he's disruptive, and he's on the smaller side. But once again, he is another athletic freak, scoring a perfect 10 on his RSA. He's 6'3", 310, and ran a 4.8 40. Excuse me? That's insane. He's extremely quick. He uses his quickness to beat blocks, to get through the line and make TFLs and rush the quarterback. He does have smaller arms, which is a disadvantage against longer O-linemen who have the quickness to keep up with them. And also because he is on the smaller side, he can get kicked out by double teams and can struggle anchoring down against them. But I think he can develop into a great rotational D lineman who probably will only be used on passing situations if I were to guess. So I really like this draft. Ryan Poles stayed true to his philosophy and draft the best player available despite the position. It doesn't hurt to have too many good football players on your team. As a whole, I'm giving this draft a B+. It was a very solid draft. I think Ryan Poles got great value and great players that are going to make the Bears a better team. And at the end of the day, drafting these players is just an educated guess. They're all about potentially becoming the player that you hope that they become. But a lot of work has to go into that on the players' part and also the coaches developing these players. But if I learned anything from last year's draft where everyone was freaking out about Colston Loveland going at 10 and not drafting a running back until the 7th round and Kyle Manangai, I learned to trust in Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, and this whole coaching staff. I am ecstatic for this team. I cannot wait to see them back on the field in September, and hopefully we're putting up 50 points every game. Well, if you made it this far, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, bear down, Chicago Bears.